Welcome back to the Ninth Gym program, and today we're doing another meta-analysis video. I hope you guys aren't tired of the meta-analysis videos. I feel like they might be getting a little bit too big of a piece of my channel, so we'll be going back to some more guide content and some more, other content here soon. Before we get into the video, I'd like to go ahead and shout out Victory Road VGC. Once again, this content would not be doable without them. They are a big piece of, the online gaming community for for VGC. So, playing their tournaments, go give them a like on Twitter. Check out their website. It'll be in the link down below. Also, subscribe. It's free and easy to do. Okay, so let's get into this. So we've got the VGC Victory Road Spring Series Grand Finale here. This is what all of the the 5 last meta-analysis that I've been doing were the qualifiers for this event. So all of the players in here are incredibly strong. 16 incredibly good players that have qualified for this tournament over multiple weeks of online events. So that's pretty cool. It is a single elimination event, 16 qualified players that happened over the last weekend. The last 2 days of the world. And yeah, Series 9, let's get into it. So, in first place, we have Marco Silva. Congrats to the winner. Awesome team, Colossal team. Colossal still winning events. I wouldn't believe that. I would not have believed that if I did not see that here. I'm just kidding. Colossal wins everything, it seems like. Colossal has won multiple Players' Cups in a row. Colossal has won regionals. Colossal has destroyed top cuts at every single event that I've seen since its Gmax was allowed. So, obviously it's not really anything crazy to see a Colossal team doing crazy. But what is kind of cool is seeing Togekiss Dragapult back in. So of course we have Dragapult with the Surf. Of course Dragapult has the Surf. But it does also feature a Dragon Darts Phantom Force Fly set that is going to be offensive with the Togekiss. So that is really, really interesting. Togekiss most likely being a supportive one. Scope Lens, Protect, Follow Me, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, middling, right? It's a Super Lux Scope Lens. It's not really a supportive Pokemon. So there's actually not a lot of support on this team. We do, of course, have the Instant Rillaboom, which everybody knows is very solid support. And, of course, the Dragapult Colossal, Urshifu Colossal. So, you can go very many different ways with this team. It's certainly worthy of getting first place. So, awesome stuff to Marco Silva. Let's move on. In second place, we got Kyle Geffner with the Azumarill tech, which is really cool. Also, fun fact is that Marco Silva in first place was the only player in top 8 without an electric Pokemon. Neat little fun fact that I just thought of. I was going to say without Regieleki, but there's a Zapdos on Kevin Sylvetto's team. I couldn't say that for some reason. But yeah, I just thought it was a cool fact. Anyway, in second place, Kyle Geffner with the Azumarill team, which is really cool. We got the Moltres Galar as well. Is it going to be like AV? Citrus Berry Azumarill with the Belly Drum, of course. Belly Drum Citrus Berry is one of the most optimal ways of playing Azumarill. A lot of people have been playing AV as well. Some people play Life Orb. Huge Power is just an insane ability. You also have the Belly Drum's tech, which is just stupid. Honestly, like it's crazy, right? You know what I mean? Like, Belly Drum is crazy. Moltres Galar with the Weakness Policy, and Lando T Life Orb, Choice Specs Regieleki. Some standard stuff and some not-so-standard stuff. All in all, awesome stuff. Second place finish in this event is an incredible feat, so good stuff. Next, in third place, we have Simone Sanvito with the Moltres Galar as well, but we also do see the Registeel and Spectre. Do you think this is going to be Weakness Policy stuff? It's not. It's Leftovers Registeel. This is what we see more frequently. We do see the Amnesia here as well, so it's going to be Iron Defense and Amnesia Body Press with the Leftovers, the Protect, of course. So very solid stuff for the Registeel. Taking Registeel to a top 4 finish at a real event, like a very high-tier event with only good players, is pretty wild. I mean, if you're looking at this, almost every name is just like a huge name in VGC 2020 plus, and a lot of them are players that have been playing for a long time. So taking Registeel, it's a ballsy move, but it paid off. Awesome stuff. We do see the Grimmsnarl, the Spectre with the safety goggles as well, with the Snarl, the Taunt, the Will-O-Wisp, the Shadow Ball. So the kind of dual, doing a lot of supportive stuff with the Will-O-Wisp, the Snarl, the Taunt, but also can hit pretty hard with the Shadow Ball, as we've seen in past events. Weakness policy, Moltres Geller is definitely the standard once again. Makes a lot of sense. We do see Light Clay, Screens, Grimmsnarl as well, but we do see the Tech Scary Face, which is something that we saw getting a little popularized last format, and then really moving into the limelight, in the last, couple weeks and months. Grimmsnarl, Scary Face is pretty cool. It's just guaranteed. You're not hitting your 5% miss on Thunderwave for that speed control. You're just doing it, which is really cool. Okay, fair enough. It's cool times. Okay, in 4th place, rounding off our top 4, we do have Francesco Damiano. Francesco. I'm just going to go by first names because I mess up every name ever, and I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, what is the HP? Why do we have the HP on every guy? That's weird. But yeah. We have our Torkoal Venu, right? So finally we're seeing Torkoal Venu to a high finish, a very top placement finish, a top 4. In a lot of the last weeks, we've seen it really getting pushed out. Nobody's been playing the Venusaur, which I think is really interesting because Venusaur is one of my favorite Pokemon in the VGC 2020 Plus series with the Venusaur G-Max, Venusaur VMAX, whatever you want to call it. I call it that sometimes. That's why I said that. But yeah, Venusaur is very, very strong. We do see the Sleep Powder, but we see the Cobra Berry here. It was pretty standard to just put a Life Orb on the guy, max its attack, and make it hit pretty hard. But now we're seeing a lot with, Screens teams, or even Pokemon like Umbreon with the Snarl and stuff like that, intimidating and stuff. And then a very, cool spread all over the place with things like Weakness Policy or Cobra Berry. So it's really interesting seeing Cobra Berry. I'm sure the spreads are really wild on these teams, but we can't see them, unfortunately. Pretty standard stuff for the Torkoal. You got Citrus Berry, Burning Jealousy, Body Press Yawn, which is pretty cool stuff. It's good. We're not really straying from anything. Some people go for the Heat Wave over the Burning Jealousy. I do personally like Burning Jealousy a lot. It's a slow Pokemon, and if you don't set up Trick Room, this team doesn't even feature Trick Room. So yeah, Burning Jealousy is definitely a really, really strong thing on this team. Regieleki had Focus Sash, something we don't see very frequently. Safety Goggles on Umbreon is cool. The Life Orb, Charizard, G-Max. I've been playing too much of the card game. I keep calling them V-Maxes. Really cool team. Mamoswine with the AV in the back. Very, very solid. So, yeah, really, really good stuff to all these top 4 players. Obviously good stuff to everybody who participated. But top 4 all came out to an incredible finish. Good stuff. In top 8, we have Damiano. I'll mess up even first names. I'm sorry. But we do see a PZ Clef team, which was really, really popular in Series 6. Kind of fell off. Is seeing more play. We're seeing it, finish a lot of top 8, top 16s on these online weeklies. And now in this qualifier, we're seeing it in 5th place, just shy of top 4, but still really great stuff to be able to bring PZ Clef to that finish. PZ Clef is very, very scary. It's definitely something that if you're not prepared to deal with, it's going to be hard to deal with. And especially now, a lot of players are teching on Nasty Plot, which wasn't always seeing play in the past. It is now. Actually, Nasty Plot was on pretty likely almost every team. Almost every PZ Clef's team. So I don't know why I'm saying that, but it is very good. Magnet Regieleki giving it that option to Dynamax while still doing a lot of damage with our little things like Electro Web and Thunderbolt and stuff. Good stuff. Instead of Rillaboom, it's incredibly powerful. And we see Urshifu Rapid Strike on a team without Colossal. Something, once again, another Series 6 tech. Everybody thought the water was going to be the way better one for a while. And then the dark kind of had its, time in the sun, and then we switch back to the water, and then we switch back. So, they're seeing about equal play, to be honest. But, water does have a little bit of that cheat code with being on a lot of Colossal teams. So, yeah. Still good stuff, though. Awesome team. In 6th place, we have a Celesteela team, which is actually the first one in this, our top 8 finish, which is very interesting. The only Celesteela, actually, which is very interesting. Celesteela has been one of the key components for VGC Series 9 so far this format, so that is very interesting. We do see the power of Meteor Beam, which is very good. A lot of Mamoswine today, which is really interesting. We do see the Rillaboom Incineroar, which is also something we're seeing an unbelievably high amount of time. Double Fake Out's pretty good. You have Taunt on the Incineroar. You have the Intimidate. It's an incredible duo, right? You can bring any 2 Pokemon in the front, and then those 2 Pokemon in the back, and you're having a good time, right? Sylveon at Babri Berry is interesting. We're not seeing too much Steel type in the meta, other than the Celesteela. We do see a couple of Steel techs every now and again, things like or the Registeel as well, which is really cool. But there is steel text every now and again on teams. Celesteela has really fallen off in play, though, which is really unfortunate. But the Celesteela is very good. Next, we have that was in 6th place by Binji Wang. Wait, is it Wang Binji? Alright, whatever. In 7th place, we have Francesco with the Registeel and the Spectre, the Regieleki, Grimmsnarl, Lando, Moltres team that we saw in 3rd place. So likely 2 players, one side of the coin for each player. They probably made the team together. Maybe they're from the same region. So I don't know. Just a random guess. Just threw it out there. But the team is really cool. It's very, very solid. Very spoken for. 2 top 8 placements. What can you say? Registeel is doing stuff, which is really, really cool. Registeel is a really interesting Pokemon in this format. The leftovers with the... seeing the text Sandtomb. Actually, so wait. Amnesia over. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So there is some differences. We do see the Thunder Wave on the Grimmsnarl as well. Was that the Scary Face? Okay, so we are seeing a good bit of differences actually between these teams. So they likely just came to the same end result overall of Pokemon with a lot of different texts. I'm sure there's a lot of different spreads. I'm sure it's a lot different. But the team is really interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have rental codes, but maybe we'll find some. If you find some, put them down in the comments down below. Next, we have Kevin Sylvetto rounding out our top 8 finishers here. Very solid team. We do see the Metagross, which is something we haven't seen in a little while. The weakness policy Metagross with no real self-procking. I guess you do have Shadow Ball on the P2 that could self-proc. You are doing a lot of damage then. If you hit the plus special attack, you could be doing a good bit of damage, which would be unfortunate. But still cool. We do see Tapu Fini and Incineroar, very good support for the Metagross teams. That is pretty, normal. We also see the Light Clay, Grimmsnarl, a very good Metagross team. Metagross is definitely a Pokemon that has been a little bit slept on in this format. We saw it a lot in Series 8, especially during the beginning of Series 8, and now then it kind of fell off, right? But now it's seeing a little bit more play again, which is a good thing to see, because I think Metagross is a pretty solid Pokemon, pretty solid contender in this format. And last but not least, obviously you can't see it because it's not on the screen, but the Zapdos at Life Orb doing some pretty standard, Zapdos stuff. Pretty good. All right, that rounds out our top 8. We will go on. We'll show all of top 16 in full focus today because we don't have 22 finishers, and these are all crazy teams. In 9th place, we have a Glastrier team. This is the first Glastrier that we've seen, actually, which is interesting. Going from Series 8 into Series 7 to Series 8, Glastrier fell off, especially with all these restricted Pokemons. And then when we went back into Series 9, which is essentially just a reflection of Series 7, we were expecting a little bit more Glastrier. I guess not everybody, because I can't speak for everybody, but I was expecting more Glastrier in this format, and it's really fallen off. There's only 3 in top 16 here, and none of them even placed the top 8. So very interesting to see Glastrier really lower on the totem pole than I expected in this format. Honestly, Spectre is seeing more play, which is kind of insane. That might be a bold claim. They're about equal, I would say, but still pretty crazy seeing so much more Spectre than the Glastrier. Glastrier at Lumberry here with the Swords Dance has been a little bit more standard of the thing that we're seeing. Not really any Trick Room on a lot of these Glastrier teams, which is interesting. No Trick Room to be found on this team, which is kind of crazy, but it very clearly works for players, so cool. Other than that, really nothing too crazy about that team. Pretty solid stuff, but nonetheless very good stuff to Julio. In 10th place, we have Victor Medina with the Rain team, which is cool. The first Rain team we've seen. We are seeing Blunder Policy Hypnosis. What? Hypnosis, Hydro Pump, Blunder Policy, Politoed, you're wildin', but that is really cool. I might have to try that out some myself in this format. That seems really fun. A very fun team. Very interesting to bring that to this, very prestigious. I guess it's medium prestigious, but it's a tournament you need to qualify for, so it's not an easy one. So very crazy to bring this Blunder Policy Politoed to the event. So that's really awesome. Congrats to a top 16 finish there. Top 16. There's 16 players. Congrats to playing this. It's sick. It's very cool. Life Orb Kingdra, nothing too wild on the Kingdra. We do see Raichu with the Lightning Rod, of course, very solid for this. We do see Fake Out as well as Area Impulse, which is good. And then we also even have Volt Switch to self-proc our own Moltres Galar weakness policy, so that's definitely an option as well. Raichu is a big piece of this team for sure. And then you have Incineroar Rillaboom. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with the Incineroar Rillaboom. The Boom Roar. Incinaboom. I like Incinaboom. That's a good one. Anyway, good stuff. In 11th place, we have Alex Gomez, Poke Alex, with another Glacier team, with the Registeel tech as well. So, Registeel doing the same things as, we've seen mostly in the format. Leftovers, Amnesia, Iron Defense, Body Press, any amount of those attacks. We do see Scopla and Super Luck, Togekiss as well. Really showed off this format. I was not expecting that big of a comeback for that. I was not expecting that big of a comeback for Gothitelle. We are seeing a lot of really interesting Pokemon in this format, while seeing less of the things that I was really expecting, being Glacier and Torkoal But yeah, cool stuff. A lot of Registeel today. A lot of Registeel. 3 Registeels so far. Interesting. Next, in 12th place, we have Max Gill with the Torkoal Venu, Speak of the Devil. We do see the Cobra Berry. That definitely seems to be one of the highest contenders. I still think Life Orb is probably the most in the format. But let's check real quick. This is very broad, obviously, but okay. So Cobra Berry is actually hitting 50 to about 60%. And then Life Orb and Weakness Policy both sitting there. Wide Lens and Focus Sash sitting at the very bottom, which makes sense. They are very good, but I only know how to play Venu Cole TBH. That's a fact, dude. That's so true. That's me. Every Players Cup actually that I've participated in this format. I've played in 3 of the Players Cups, and I played Torkoal Venu. No, I played 2. I played in 2 of the Players Cups, and I brought Venu Torkoal both times. I only know how to play that, so I feel you there. We do see one of the first Trick Rooms. There's been a couple Trick Rooms. Has there been? No Trick Room. Okay, this is the first Trick Room team. What? That's crazy. I feel like I missed one. But yeah, that's crazy. Regieleki, Incineroar, Lando, very good support Pokemon in the back there for your Venu, Torkoal, and P2 strategy. Works very well there. Awesome stuff. Congrats. Next, in 13th place, we have Orlando Luna with the Colossal team. It's the same 6 as in first place. Same flag as well. No, not the same flag. Yes, no, not the same flag. Don't be colorblind, man. I'm colorblind, man. Alright, so we got Urshifu with the Drag Bolt, of course. The duo for the Colossal. Makes a lot of sense. We got Incineroar, Rillaboom. We got the Incinaboom in the back. And the Togekiss with the Scopla and Super Luck. Good stuff. That's all I got to say. Good stuff. In 14th place, we have probably the most interesting team. Probably not. It's not that interesting. It just has the Indeedee, which is crazy. We do see the offensive Spectra, which is something we haven't seen. We've only been seeing really support-oriented, support-driven Spectures so far in this event. We do see, obviously, it still has a lot of supportive stuff. Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, Snarl, doing a lot of that stuff. But Shadow Ball with the Spell Tag can be a very solid Dynamax, can do a lot of damage. But we also have Thundurus that's going to be Dynamaxing most of the time. Dracovish at Choice Band, Strongjaw with that Whimsicott Tailwind as backup for that. Very, basic Whimsicott Dracovish there. But then we see the Indeedee male at Focus Sash with the Expanding Force, but we see the Imprisoned Trick Room, which is a very solid thing for this team. Makes a lot of sense on a Whimsicott team, right? You want to be fast. You want to keep away those prisons. Indeedee male is one of the best Imprisoned Trick Room Pokemon that we have access to, with its Expanding Force Psychic Surge as well, being a very useful Pokemon in a lot of aspects. So, very cool. Regieleki at Magnet. Nothing too crazy. It does have Hyper Beam on it for a little bit of speed control if you Dynamax it, which is cool. Yeah, good stuff. In 15th place, we have Will Tansley with the Umbreon tech, which is cool. But we got the Tapu Fini Incineroar for the supportive of the physical attacking team that we have here. We have Thundurus, Lando, Kartana. The Umbreon has some support down here at the back. And then the Incineroar and Tapu Fini as the main means of support. Tapu Fini keeping that Kartana unburned, which is a very big deal. But we also have Lando and Thundurus. Thundurus keeping it unintimidated, which is a big deal. It's a very Kartana-Lando team with Thundo. A lot of physical attacking support. It's a very physical attacking heavy team, which is something we see a lot in this format. See a lot in a couple of the formats that were leading up to this format. It's good. Next, we have Yuki in last place. Not last, but not least, because, you know, a couple of these players lost their first round. It's all the same. They have the same seed. Anyway, Yuki. I'm leaving it at Yuki. I'm not going to mess up the name. I'm not even going to give you a chance to mess up the name. Regieleki Magnet, we got Mental Herb, Mimikyu, which is cool. Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room, doing some pretty solid stuff. And Taunt, actually. Very supportive Mimikyu. No Ghost type attack on there, which is cool. Regieleki, we've got the Glastrier. Hey, look at that. Our first Trick Room Glastrier team, Wilden. Using an Assault Vest, though, which is really interesting. Using, I guess, Close Combat is the fourth move. Heavy Slam, I guess. Icicle Crash and High Horsepower are staple. They're standard to the Glastrier. So you get to use one of the two. But this player is using both because of Assault Vest, of course. Amoonguss at Akaberry is interesting. Amoonguss, everybody knows this. Trick Room, Amoonguss with Spore can be a win con a lot of the time. Amoonguss is crazy. Amoonguss is a Pokemon that trended down a lot as well. A Pokemon that we were kind of expecting to be a little bit more used in this format with Trick Room, in tandem with Trick Room, but didn't see it too much. Another Trick Room user up here as well with a P2, and an Incineroar to tie it all together because Incineroar is... It's a glue Pokemon, right? It's glue. It just puts your team together. I was really hoping that there was going to be usage stats here as well, but there's not. It's okay. That's it. That's it for the video, right? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Go check out Victory Road VGC. Click on every link in my description down below. We're trying to get that Patreon going again, maybe here soon. Bunch of stuff coming for the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Have a good following week. Have a good following weekend. Have a good... I could do this indefinitely. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week, and goodbye.